Hello, this is DWalt200. I'm here with a review of My Hero Academia. Now, I was going to do like episode reviews, but it's kind of far into the anime, so I'm going to do all three seasons. Now, I'll try to avoid spoilers as much as I can, but I will give some details of the storyline and what it's about to give you an overall review. Now it really focuses on this kid Deku that gets this power from this guy called All Might, and he's quirkless and stuff. Where a lot of people on the planet are have these quirks, pretty much superpowers, and it's not a bad anime. It's really not. Now it's not as good as a lot of people are saying it is. Okay, this is one thing that's really misconcepted about this show. It's not amazing by any sorts of the mean. I guess it's above average. But there's a lot of problems with the anime, but a lot of the good things are the animation is really good. A lot of fight scenes are really well done, and I didn't see very much reuse animation with at all, if any. And it's really nicely done, and the story isn't that bad. But I think it's really slow paced, and if you like slow paced anime, I guess storylines, then this is pretty much up your alley because it's kind of a slow pace. Because um after he receives the power, he can't control it because it's in immense power. Because this guy All Might is just like reminds me of Superman a lot. I think that's what he's kind of like portrayed as, as Superman, because he's incredibly powerful. And you know Deku has to train for like a couple months for even him to receive the power. Because if he gave it to him to a like undeveloped body, then he would just probably like explode or some shit. But I think it's a little they're a little slow developing his powers. They do give some hindsight that he is training, he is getting more and more powerful, and I think the pacing could be way better. Okay, this is like it's way too slow developing what's going on. I know they try, like I really like how they develop each and every character, because with a lot of this kind of anime, they don't really focus on any other person except for like the main character and maybe one or two people, but they take their time to really actually kind of focus on each and every person in the anime. And in a way I really like this because you kind of miss out on who these other people are, even though they may not be that important to the storyline. You get an insight what these other people are like, and their quirks. So I really like that aspect of the show. But one of the things that really gets me about this show is like the plot starts out pretty generic, but it gets stupid right around when the villains invade. Mainly because you find out their plot, and not the plot, but their reasoning, and their motive is retarded. Okay, this is one thing that really bothers me about these villains. Okay, I think they're well designed. I think they're creepy, and I think they try to use like an approach where they don't look like the heroes. They don't look very, I guess, heroic. They don't look like good guys. They look like villains. So that aspect they either really got down, but their motive is really fucking retarded. I'll tell you the motive because I don't think it's that important. If you want to skip that and think it's a big spoiler or something, then go ahead and skip it. But they want to kill All Might because he represents peace. He's like, they think this guy, is like the symbol of peace, right? Because this guy saves everybody. He's probably one of the most powerful quirk people out there, or superhero if you want to call them. And for some odd reason, they think killing this guy will, I guess, kill like the symbol of peace. When there's plenty of other freaking heroes that are pretty much I wouldn't say on par with him, but pretty fucking powerful that could easily take his place. So I really don't get the end game of their motive, and it's really not clear of what they're trying to fucking do, because like when they actually invade, it doesn't seem they know what the fuck they're doing. Or they really underestimate All Might's power, okay? They really don't have a plan. That's what really gets me about these villains. Like, these guys are idiots. They're stupid. Like, they didn't just plan this out. They just invaded it and say, fuck it. If we win, we win. Like, they don't know what they're fucking doing. There's no strategy to it. It's so retarded. These villains are the worst fucking things about the show, and they're not developed at all. We don't know shit about them. Now, the main villain, who can, I guess, disintegrate things on touch, is more developed probably out of them, next to Hero Killer Stain, which I really like that, the guy, the villain, but we don't know anything about him either. Like, I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me. But the guy who disintegrates shit and Hero Killer Stain are probably the most developed villains of the show, and it's 3 seasons in. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? And there is a few, like, inconsistent stuff that goes on here. I can't fucking talk today, but there's a moment where Deku is fighting this one guy who can brainwash people by if they answer his question, and they pull some bullshit where oh my goodness, where I guess the past users of All Might's power helps him out. I won't give away exactly what happens, but it's bullshit, like how he got free from the mind wash. It's so stupid, and I can see where a lot of people would say it's kind of a repetitive kind of a nature to it, because this is at the 3rd season. We get another villains invading them kind of thing. The same thing we just saw not too long ago happen. Like, I get they're trying to kill All Might, but again, the second invasion doesn't seem like it's fucking planned at all. They just go guns blazing, hope for the fucking best. So that's the major issues I have with this anime. And oh my goodness, let's talk about how Deku cries all the fucking time. And they made fun of this for a couple times within this anime, making fun of him. He had like fountains coming out of his eyes one time. Just when they're making fun of the character, they're self-aware that he cries a lot. I mean, I kind of was forgiving it at first because he is a young kid, and it's right around that time he's probably going to be really emotional, and he's been bullied a lot in school, so he may be a little emotionally unstable and shit like that. But they really overdo it. This kid cries about every fucking thing all the time. But if you can get past that, it's not that bad an anime. Overall, I would give it a 7 out of 10, and that's being pretty generous. I think there's enough here with the storytelling and the animation and how it's dealt and how they develop each character, have their I guess shine at each. They dedicate a certain amount of time to kind of showcase a lot of these characters, even though that could be off-putting to some people. I really like it. I like how they're just taking a little time and giving all these side characters a little shine. I really like that. So there is a lot of good things here, but there's a lot of negative shit too. So it's a very generous 7 out of 10. If you want to check it out, go ahead. It might not be for you, but it's not as good as people are fucking hyping it up to be, okay? That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. Rate, comment, subscribe.